beacons, passing days, elusive spirits, with no need for that sun's hot-headed face. They revel in the mystical and have no fear of shadow, for they know the darkness as a holy place. Their nocturnal take on science is their personal defiance. They play in love and morning comes too soon. Laughing at the sun, sailing with the moon. Laughing at the sun, sailing with the moon. She knows the spring by blossom scent and the autumn by the wind, and knows you best by possibility. She hears your heart in your voice and knows your mood in your step. The grace of one who does not need to see to see. Cutting through the interference, unswayed by mere appearance, with a sense to sense when all's in tune. Laughing at the sun, sailing with the moon. Laughing at the sun, sailing with the moon. Sun, sailing with the moon. Laughing at the sun, sailing with the moon. From covert conflict to open wars, area prone to domination, little hope for repatriation. So much pain and so much tears, so the lessons can fall on deaf ears. At what cost the war is won? Well, it's all over, but the revision's just begun. Everything looks different, but you're just the same. Still looking for someone else to blame. Whispered word, what is fair? Drowned in the silence of despair. All wisdom and advice falls short of hell. A mirror's no use until you can recognize yourself. You're trying to find that flag of truce, even as the bridges burn. Well, it's all over, but the second thoughts await their turn. Without closure, the curtain's drawn. The wounded search for me, the proud move on. Dreams were dashed and trust was broken. Fate so bound in words unspoken. Do you pick the rubble for what might have been? No one in their right mind would want to feel that way again. As the clock waits to extract its toll, the credits fade and the regrets start to roll. So frustration found release. Did anyone remember to speak for peace? Was it for law and order that rights were wronged? In the name of justice, the war prolonged. Yet through it all, some greater love was grown. And weren't there moments beyond anything you've known? So pack up your guilt and fears. It's all over, but the memories start here.
Whoever you are, we welcome you. Wherever you come from, we welcome you. Whomever you love, we welcome you. Whoever you are, we welcome you. Wherever you come from, we welcome you. Whomever you love, we welcome you. Good morning, everyone. I am Demetrius Ingram, and this morning I will be presenting with Noel McCluney. Steve and Lynn Israel are handling streaming here with us, and Lisa Merrill Price and Robin Perry are providing technical assistance at home. Thank you all so very much for tuning in today for our live streaming service in light of the social distancing needed for reducing the spread of COVID-19. We are glad that we can keep in touch and support our community, even if we can't be together in person. We gather today to foster our understanding of our place in the universe, embracing the worth and dignity of all, supporting justice, equity, and peace in the world, accepting one another as we search for meaning, and respecting the connectedness of it all. Please take a moment to think of all your friends at MVUUC, greet them with a comment on Facebook, and remember that you can still reach out to them via email, phone, social media, or video chat. Physical distancing does not need to mean emotional distancing. Let us support one another. The volume's probably down on your phone. Because there is a delay in the video broadcast, we encourage people to begin emailing announcements as well as joys and concerns now to services@mvuuc.org. Again, that is services, SERVICES, @mvuuc.org, or begin posting the information to Facebook comments. We will remind you again later in the service to post your joys and concerns. Visitors, as we are a diverse group with varying interests and beliefs, our services are varied in format, tone, and topic. We encourage you to view several services to gain a good understanding of our congregation. If you'd like to receive our weekly email newsletter, please email us at news@mvuuc.org. Again, that's news, NEWS, @mvuuc.org. MVUUC remains committed to supporting our members and friends during this difficult time of social distancing. For that reason, we are coordinating assistance with groceries, phone calls, and other needs. If this sounds like something that would be helpful to you, please send an email to sac@mvuuc.org. Again, that's SAC, SAC, @mvuuc.org with your name and what kind of assistance you would like to request. That was a lot of emails. Now is the time for announcements. Let's see what we have received via email and in the Facebook comments. And to start us off, President Noel McCluney.
Hi, everybody. I just wanted to make an announcement about the pledge campaign. So again, on April 22nd, you should have received a special announcement email about the pledge campaign. It had a packet and then also a document that you can email back to our treasurer with your pledge. So please get that in by May 5th. The board's hoping to get all the pledges in by then so that when we meet on the 10th, we can really kind of look at our budget and determine if we need to change the proposed budget that we're going to be voting on May 17th. We did want to talk a little bit about, we understand that a lot of their jobs are a little uncertain at the moment. So when you make your pledge, do what you think is most likely going to happen, but know that you can always adjust your pledge later. Just make sure you let us know. Okay, so if you pledge something and then it turns out that maybe that's not the appropriate amount you should have pledged, just let us know so that we can adjust the budget through the year. Your board members should be reaching out to you or have already. And just email right back to treasurer at mvuc.org with that document, or you can mail it in, and our address is in that email, and it's also in the pledge packet. So thank you. Were there any other announcements? No. Okay. Okay. All right. So we checked the services and we haven't had any other. So we're going to go ahead and light the chalice.
Sorry. I forgot to check this part. It said, that was from us, virtual congregational meeting. Did we just mean to put that in, or did we want to say it?
We will have a virtual congregational meeting on May 17th. It will be via WebEx. You'll see that more announcements in the newsletter about that. So it will be virtual. We'll be kind of trialing that WebEx at the end of today, that platform. So we'll hopefully be really skilled by the time May 17th comes around for that meeting. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and light the chalice. The chalice will be lit today by Demetrius. Please join me in reading the words for the chalice lighting that appear as a comment on the Facebook Live video or in your order of service. We light this chalice. Here we go. We light this chalice in hope that we may always remain a strong community that supports, challenges, and cheers us. And now, please join as we sing hymn number 318, We Would Be One.
Our opening words today are entitled Community Means Strength by Starhawk. We are all longing to go home to some place we have never been, a place half remembered and half envisioned. We can only catch glimpses of from time to time. Community. Somewhere there are people to whom we can speak with passion without having the words catch in our throats. Somewhere, a circle of hands will open to receive us. Eyes will light up as we enter. Voices will celebrate with us whenever we come into our own power. Community means strength that joins our strength to do the work that needs to be done. Arms to hold us when we falter, a circle of healing, a circle of friends, some place where we can be free from dreaming the dark magic, sex, and politics.
Hi, everybody. So again, I'm Noel McCluney. I'm the current president of the congregation. And today we're doing kind of a special service. I'm calling it like a virtual retreat. So we didn't really get to do our retreats as we had hoped. So this is kind of a service we put together to kind of, be that substitute. So I'm really excited because we're going to be presenting a PowerPoint today. So I got to give a shout out to Steve Israel here and Lynn as well with figuring out the technology to do this. So we're crossing our fingers that everything's gonna work out. So I will be using a PowerPoint. I also was able to get videos from all the chairs. So those are looking great. So hopefully those will work out. And yeah, let's get started. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and we're going to turn the camera so you can see the PowerPoint. All right. So I'm told that you're now able to see the PowerPoint, and you should be able to hear me as I go through that. Obviously, this is a picture from last year. I had hoped to get a new picture, but we're gonna go with the one from last year. We can somehow get a picture from this year we can combine a bunch of pictures of people in their homes. So, all right. So again, this is what I'm calling a virtual retreat today, and our purpose is what happened this year. When we talked about gratitude last week, and to me, part of gratitude is recognizing things that have happened. Right? It's easy to kind of forget all the things that have happened, even in the shortest time of a year. But a lot has happened this year that you'll see. Also, to appreciate everyone. I mean, what's really unique about our congregation is that we run it from the ground up, right? So it's all the members that create this congregation. It's not run by a corporate entity or a diocese or whatnot. It really is run by the members. And then also to talk about plans for the future. What do we want? Kind of in, as we say, unprecedented times, but there's still things we can do now, and then of course also things when we are back. We'll talk first about our mission. I think it's always important. Kind of go over our organizational structure. We're going to do those board summaries. The board was me, actually, and then the committee summaries with the videos, and then I'll talk a little bit about what we're going to do at the end of service today on WebEx. So first, the mission. So everybody makes fun of me because I believe that the mission statement is really important. Other people, I guess, don't agree with me, but to me, knowing the mission of the organization is critical. They want that organization to achieve, and our mission at MVUUC is we strive and growing spiritual community of religious liberals, advancements, pursuing reason, nurturing love, furthering justice, and promoting peace. All order, I have to say, but I think we're doing it. Welcoming. We're welcoming any new people that come in. Whether they're of a different race, a different socioeconomic status, a different belief system. What's great about Unitarians is, we accept any belief, any religion and any beliefs, that we're growing, and you'll learn later from Matt, we're growing this year, which is awesome. We're a spiritual community. We don't just, aerobics or gardening or something. We do talk about spiritual things and religious things. We're liberal, we're progressive, we're, again, accepting of reason, I think, is really important. Being married to a believe in using reason and science in our beliefs, and of course, our caring community we're nurturing love, there's action for you. So all those things, which is awesome. Organizational players. So I wanted to go because I know when I first came to MVUUC, I didn't really understand how things were run a little bit this year, but just wanted to kind of go over, the board of trustees. Again, I'm the president, and then I'll talk about who else is on the board. We kind of manage kind of called board liaisons now, which are people on the board who kind of are the check. And then we have committee chairs, committee members. We have a couple employees. So Sarah Rainey is our director of religious education. She's then Bob Rex, who helps with custodial. And then we have our new administrative assistant, Robin Perry. And then we have all the members, of course. And then we have friends who are also contributing people with the service, or if it just have not yet signed, either not yet or have decided not to sign. Kind of our structure. Board of Trustees, again, is me, president, and then we've got Lisa Merrill Price, vice president. Colleen Fitzgerald is our secretary. Winnie Rex, our treasurer. And then we've got our 3 trustees, Rich Didis, Demetrius Ingram, who I have here with us today, and Ginny Walter. And remember last year we voted to reduce the number of trustees. We used to have 9, and now we're down to 7, just to kind of make it a little more manageable for our kind of smaller congregation. And you'll see coming up at our congregational meeting, we do have the treasurer and I believe 2 of the trustees that will be changing this year. I want to talk just a little bit about kind of what we've done this year on the board. We've had monthly meetings, pretty epic monthly meetings. There was a lot of things that we just really had to get done this year. And so I just want to I'm always giving a shout out, but shout out to the board for pushing through on those meetings and getting a lot done. And not only did we have those meetings, but a lot of emails back and forth to try to come up with different policies and different things that we've accomplished this year. Our weekly newsletter, we kind of took that on as a board thing to kind of help make sure all the communication from all the different committees were getting into that newsletter, and just so we could kind of manage that communication. Also Facebook and the website, just trying to really get that communication organized and consistent. And then we worked a lot on different policies this year. We had that sharing policy, or we called it, I think, the joys and concerns policy, just to allow people to know, where is appropriate time to share certain things. An art exhibit coming up, do I share that joys and concerns? That kind of goes more towards announcements. So just kind of helping people understand where it's appropriate to share different things, and ensuring that when we do our joys and concerns, we're as welcoming as we possibly can in our communication there. Rental policy, we worked on that. We want, hopefully when we get back in person, to really utilize the building as a source of revenue. We have this building here, which is getting better and better. Thank you to the Building and Grounds Committee, all the time. And so this is really a source, a commodity that we could use to bring in more funds. So we wanted to make sure we had a clear policy on that. If somebody rented out the sanctuary, what does that cost? For discussion room, and then also to kind of clarify, if you're a member, who can you use it for free, and in what capacity can you use it? So making it we're fair for everybody. So we're not saying, oh yeah, you can use it, but you can't, but that we're consistent across the board, so that everybody feels like being fair. And then safety policies, we really, because of course we had the flag incident with the flag being vandalized, and we wanted to make sure that we were doing all we could stay safe and the building safe. So we created quite a few building safety policies. We got our new alarm system with the county sheriff's office, and he came out and really helped us kind of see different things. And then Rich Didis went around and by putting different things on the doors that allow for that security. Thank you. And then also our RE paperwork, we updated and created enrollment paperwork for all the kids as part of that safety, but also just part of best practices. And then a roof campaign. I mean, being able to put a new roof on was maybe, but did it. We had a roof capital campaign, and we raised the funds needed, and Rich and Lisa worked with getting all the different quotes in and organizing to get roofers out, and we have a brand new roof. So I'm really, and the creation of the new admin assistant position, because as you know, there's a lot that goes into running a congregation, and having this position makes it a little more feasible, as we all are mostly volunteers here. So having that is critical. And then pledge packets, putting together new pledge packets, the new proposal for the budget this year, different things about reviewing what happened this year and welcoming new members, all of that. So we did a lot this year. So I wanted to share and make sure everybody knew and appreciated all the board members. All right, so we've got 10 active committees now, and I'll be going through each of these. We're going to start with the nominating committee. So the nominating committee develops a board member slate for the annual election. So again, that's coming up on May 17th. So the nominating committee were the ones that kind of went out and tried to figure out who's going to be on that slate of new board members. We have Andy Shockett, Charlie Applebaum, Kevin McCluney, and Bob Price on it. I believe there's one more, but I'm not sure exactly who that other person is. So sorry about that, but thank you for being on this committee. All right, then we get to Sunday Service Committee. Sunday Service coordinates and executes our Sunday services like we're doing right now. So Meryl Price is our current chair. We've got Kevin McCluney, me, Jamie Hale, Susan Rogers, Bob Wright, official members, and then we have lots of key contributors. Obviously, Tom Edge has been, he's always fantastic. He put him under members, but I guess technically he's not a member, though he could be. But Tom Edge, Steve, of course, who's always here helping with the sound and has done so much as we've progressed with these streaming services. Megan Ranciere, who's done a lot of us, Colleen Fitzgerald, Demetrius, John Schutze, and Laura. Thank you guys. Now we get to hear from someone other than me. Wait, Miss Lisa.
Hi, I'm Lisa Merrill Price, and I am the Sunday Services Committee. The Sunday Services Committee is probably the most public-facing committee at MVUUC because so much of our community building and fellowship begins with our weekly gatherings as a congregation. This year, successfully transitioned to a lay-led congregation, providing strong Sunday service, transitioning to an entirely online streaming service. The Sunday Services Committee is responsible for making our weekly services as dynamic, inclusive, as possible. We work to coordinate interesting and appropriate service themes, choose readings and hymns for each service, invite to sing, and speakers to deliver a reflection. Although committee members often help plan, craft, and deliver services, this is not a requirement for participation in this committee. There are many ways to help, and we welcome all who are interested in making Sunday services great. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. And did anybody notice in the back of that video? It was the first time I noticed that, so very cute. All right, I just want to talk a little bit more about Sunday services. Again, as she said, that we've transitioned to lay lead this year, which was, awesome. And then we've been able to transition without even missing one Sunday to online streaming services, which is we're very proud of. I wanted to show a few pictures. We've got the Jim Scott concert that was here. This is just kind of showing how we've kind of done some more group activities this year, not just kind of passive lecture style, but also kind of doing more interactive services. We had Susan Rogers present awesome service on yoga. And then here we go. Here's here's us putting up the flag. Anyway, I thought that was cute. And then I just wanted to show you that I wanted you to know that we are up to this is our 8th streaming service. So pretty cool, right? These are all the other ones. If you've missed any, you can go to the Facebook feed or Facebook page and watch any of the ones that you missed. They're also on YouTube. So if you're not a Facebook person, you can also access them on the YouTube channel. And now I want to talk a little about our religious education. So this committee, I suppose you could say, plan and executes religious education for youth in the congregation. Sarah Rainey Smith-Back is our director of religious education, and I am the liaison. And we ready? Here we go.
Hi, everyone. This is Sarah Rainey Smith-Back. I'm here to give you the report from religious education. This year, we had an average weekly attendance of about 8 kids per week, but we had as high as 13, 14 sometimes as well. As we've transitioned to having our RE meetings on Zoom, we've had about 5 to 7 kids per week, which is pretty good considering everyone has to log in and it's a little bit onerous now. Other highlights from this year is that we created and implemented new registration forms for religious education and of new procedures. Some of them we already had, but we formalized a lot of the procedures in the RE classroom and space. We had our largest Hogwarts yet. We had 56 witches and wizards join us for a week at Maumee Valley Unitarian University. And our net profit was a little over $1,000 as well. Another thing I wanted to highlight was our pandemic response. Like I said, we've been doing Zoom weekly for religious education. And for the first few weeks, I also did a bedtime story time, and I've switched that to only Wednesday nights right now. And weeks of what I called a big kid film chat. So as this evolves, I think that we have the capacity to add more services as there are interest. Far so good. Next year, my goal is to continue to grow regular enrollment and to test drive some new curriculum materials that I've been working on that are sort of like lessons in a box. So that is the report for religious education.
Back to me. So I wanted to thank Sarah for that. And please do join us on Wednesday evenings at 8 when she does a story time. Desmond's been just loving it. It's so nice for him to have someone other than me to read to him. And Sarah's so great about finding great, books that really talk about the our UU principals. So join us for that. And then, of course, on Sundays. So thank you. I want to thank Sarah for all the things that she's done. I loved the film chat that we did as well. All right, building and grounds. This committee determines and communicates needs for the building and grounds and executes repairs or hires needed people. We've got the chair, Rich Didis, and members Bob Rex, Bob Price, Andy is no longer with us, but I did want to recognize that he was part of that committee this year and his contribution. And here we have Rich.
Hi, I'm Rich Didis, and I'm a member of the Buildings and Grounds Committee. In the past year, we've had many accomplishments, culminating in the replacement of our roof. We need volunteers who would like to help maintain and improve our church's infrastructure. If you are handy with tools, like to paint, or are good at designing and managing projects, then the Buildings and Grounds Committee is the place for you. We need you, whether you're a hands-on kind of person or an organizer. Our building is beginning to show its age, and now that the more structural problems have been taken care of, it's time to start thinking about beautification, energy savings, and general maintenance.
Oh, we'll keep going anyway. All right, so I wanted to just kind of highlight a few things, he talked about, but also just make sure, got that new roof, which I already talked about. They worked a lot on converting all the lights in the church to LEDs, added a new alarm system and security features, improved the weatherproofing of the windows, repainted the exterior doors. I'm sure there's other things I'm missing on this list, but very industrious this year. So thank you, Building and Grounds. Then we have our caring community, identifies people within the church who need assistance and support for critical issues or long-term assistance. Our chair is Pam Cummins. We have a number of contributors, Megan, Marilyn, Janelle, Dawn, Anna, Dan, who have also helped with caring community. And here we're going to hear from Pam.
Hi, I'm Pam Summons, and I have taken on the responsibility of coordinating efforts to reach out to our community when a congregant could use some support from the MVUUC. I was initially inspired to take on this project of a caring community because I saw that in order for our congregation to thrive, we needed to connect with each other on a deeper level than pure intellectual stimulation and social action. Both are necessary, but they're not enough. I feel we had to demonstrate our care for each other when we face challenging times and to share in people's joys when it seems appropriate. I believe people search out a church where they can feel a connection, be valued, and receive emotional as well as spiritual connections. Finally, there's another reason I decided to take on this responsibility. I believe that in order for me to make personal spiritual progress, I must reach out to others in a meaningful way rather than only thinking about myself. If you would like to join me in this effort, kindly send me an email to summons491@yahoo.com. That's summons491@yahoo.com, or to my cell phone at 419-508-3692. That's 508-3692. Have a blessed day.
And now about membership. Membership maintains the member list and the member and friend directory, plans and manages welcoming of new members, follows up with members, participates in events to advertise about MVUUC. Matt Rower is our chair. Colleen Fitzgerald is our liaison. And we have got members Lynn Israel, Becky Croak, and Diego Plaza. And here we have Matt.
Hi, I'm Matt, chair of the membership committee. We are here to help prospective new members join the congregation and to also spread the word about MVUUC. In the past year or so, 25 new members have joined the congregation, and we'd like to see that number continue to grow 2020 and beyond. In the future, we would also like to do more community outreach so that the greater community is more aware of MVUUC and what it stands for. You should join the committee if you believe in MVUUC's mission and like to see the congregation continue to grow in the years to come.
Thank you, Matt, for that. And I don't know if you caught, I believe he said that we've gained 25 new members this year. So it's very exciting. Fellowship plans and organizes social opportunities, manages sign up for needed congregational tasks. Robin Perry is our new chair of this committee. Demetrius Ingram's our liaison. I put a number of contributors because they might not know, but I'm considering them kind of part of this this committee, because Winnie Rex, you did our circle dinners. Marilyn did the adult discussion. Susan Rogers has been doing our yoga groups. Marilyn Wetlands has been doing the lunch group. Pam Summons, obviously doing the caring, but also doing the meditation group. Lynn doing drum circles. Robin and Lisa doing game nights. Oh, and I probably should have done here Colleen as well, because I know they organized that hike as well. So a lot of things we did there that I'm all putting underneath fellowship. And here's Robin.
Hey everyone, my name is Robin Perry and I'm the chair of the fellowship committee here at MVUUC, and we're currently looking for some new members. Before the quarantine, we held some fun events, including walks through Winter Garden Park after service, and we brought back the classic board game night. Unfortunately, some of our events have kind of been put on hold for a bit, but we're hoping on looking back into bringing back board game night once again, but hopefully virtually. If you are interested in joining us and getting the congregation together outside of service and making friends, especially during this time of social distancing, we could maybe all use a little bit of virtual socialization. Please contact me, let me know, and we can start maybe doing more virtual hanging out. Thanks.
Yeah. So yeah, please contact Robin. You can contact her, I guess, right now at news@mvuc.org. She gets those emails. So if you're interested in part of that game night. I already talked a little bit about that. Social action. Through short-term and long-term actions throughout the year, engage as many congregation members as possible in our efforts to enact social change. Megan Rancier is our chair, and let's hear from her.
Hi everyone, I'm Megan Rancier and I'm the Social Action Committee Chair at Maumee Valley Unitarian Universalist Congregation. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Social Action Committee. We represent the core of activism and community service in our congregation. We exist to put the 7 principles of Unitarian Universalism into practice. Our activities have connected us with numerous organizations working throughout Northwest Ohio, including Food for Thought, The Cocoon, Susie's Coats, Habitat for Humanity, the Brown Bag Food Project, and Pride Toledo. Sometimes our organized activities take us outside the walls of the congregational building, such as when we do our twice yearly cleanup of the Slippery Elm Trail. And sometimes we organize actions that congregation members can contribute to as easily as they can attend a Sunday service, such as when we did a toy collection for Toys for Tots. Whether it's collecting monetary donations or contributing time by assisting at a mobile food bank, the Social Action Committee strives to make MVUUC into a force for positive change in the world, one volunteer and one action at a time. So our goal for this year is to organize an action calendar consisting of one congregational social action per month. We're also in the process of preparing to build a congregational herb and vegetable garden, which will start to take shape in the first half of May 2020. We're always looking for more volunteers to help stoke the fire of positive change within our congregation. So I welcome you to join the Social Action Committee in this endeavor. Thanks.
Thank you, Megan. And then we have our finance committee. Oversees the financial well-being of MVUC, including matters matters to budgeting. Winnie Ratz is our liaison. We have a chair. John Schutze was the chair for part of this year. I believe Sam McAbee is our interim chair. We have members Charlie Applebaum, Kevin William, Bob Price, and Connie Sauter. They helped by giving input on the capital campaign for the roof, helped us develop the administrative assistant description and contract, and they helped us to a draft budget for the board for this year's campaign. So thank you, Finance Committee. And then finally, we have our newest or sort of new committee. This committee, we hope, will help in different fundraising events. Part of that could be the pledge campaign. Also, we were hoping to maybe do a sale at some point. So any kind of these fundraising activities would be under this committee. And now I kind of want to do a little interactive. I wanted to talk about what our hopes are for this year. So I want you to think about what we like to see at MVUC this year. Something or a couple things, but what would you like to see this year happen? Maybe it's something that needs to be improved or something new. And I'd like you to type it into the Facebook feed. And what I'm going to do is use comments for our web discussion after service. So think of that, you'll have time to kind of post that. And at the end of service today, I'm going to tell you to join me in our WebEx discussion room. There's a link that will be posted. It's also in your order of service. It's also in your newsletter. It's also in the announcement this morning. So you can find that link in a lot of different places, and you can join us over there. We'll discuss the ideas that you guys posted for what you would to see here. And I also have a little game planned. So please join me over there so we can do that. And now, please join as we sing hymn number 121, We'll Build a Land. Okay. Let it be a dance instead.
Okay, here we go, and there's just a short intro.
Yes, we do. May I have this dance with you through the times and the bad times too. Let it be a dance. Let a dancing song be heard. Every say the words, and the sky with sailing birds. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. Learn to follow, learn to lead. Feel the rhythm, feel the need. To reap the harvest, plant the seed. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance we do. May I have this dance with you through the good times and the bad times too. Let it be a dance. Everybody turn and spin. Let your body learn to bend. And like a willow with a wind. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. Love is born, no must die. A time for joy, a time to cry. Take it as it passes by. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance we do. May I have this dance with you. The good times and the bad times too. Let it be a dance. Morning star comes
wrong and nothing's right. Let it be a dance, let it be a dance, let it be a dance. Let the sunshine, let it rain. Share the laughter, bear the pain. And on we go again. Let it be a dance.
If you have joys, concerns, or milestones you would like to share, please begin posting them as a comment on the Facebook video or email them to services@mvuuc.org. In Our Time Together by Betty Jo Middleton. As we gather here together, may we be attentive to one another. May we listen carefully. May we freely speak. May we be respectful of one another. May we be serious yet not somber. May we be light of heart and full of fear. As we gather here together, may we work toward common goals. May we be mindful of our religious community and aware of our responsibility. May we look into one's eyes and see ourselves reflect. As we gather here together, may we be attentive to one another and to the task at hand.
Then we just have just really a quote for closing words. It's really one of my favorite quotes. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. By Margaret Mead. And now we'll be extinguishing the chalice. So please join me in reading the words for extinguishing the chalice. They can be found as a comment on the Facebook feed or order of service. As we extinguish this flame, we affirm that we wanted, we are loved, and we are grateful for the warmth of our small but mighty community. We move the offertory to the end of service because when you click on the PayPal link provided in the Facebook feed, you may lose your connection if you're on a phone or a tablet. We're still counting on your pledge payments and donations to help sustain and strengthen this congregation that is so important to all of us, supporting our efforts to be a community of love, truth, justice, and service. Please make sure you click on the drop-down link to be sure to select the correct designation so that we know what your donation should be going towards. After the service, please, again, join us to continue our discussion about what we want to see at MVUUC this year. We'll also play a little game. So again, there will be a link for you to click on. And it's also, again, in your newsletter and a lot of different places. So please join for that. And now we will do a closing song, my favorite closing song. Go with a song in your heart.
Go with song in your heart. Go with music in your soul. Live with the memory of a melody. Go with the song in your heart. Go with the song in your heart. Go with our song until we meet again. The joy of music is our gift to you. Go with the song in your heart. Live with the memory of a melody. Go with the song. With the song, go with the song in your heart. Evening cool awakens, passing days elusive spirits, with no need for that sun's hard-headed face. They revel in the mystical and have no fear of shadow, for they know the darkness as a holy place. Their nocturnal take on science is their personal defiance. In love and morning comes too soon. Laughing at the sun, sailing with the moon. Laughing at the sun, sailing with the moon. She knows spring by blossom scent and the autumn by the wind, and knows you best by possibility. She hears your heart in your voice and knows your mood in your step. The grace of one who does not need to see to see. Cutting through the interference, unswayed by mere appearance, with a sense when all's in tune. Laughing at the sun, sailing with the moon. Laughing at the sun, sailing with the moon. Laughing at the sailing with the moon. Laughing at the sun, sailing with the moon. Nothing we haven't seen before, from covert conflict to open wars, area protection, little hope for repatriation. Much pain and so much lessons can fall on deaf ears. the war is won. But the revision's just begun. Looks different, but you're just the same. Still looking for someone else to blame. Whispered word there, drowned in the nights of despair. Oh, wisdom of hell. Use until you can recognize yourself. You were trying to find that flag of truth as the bridges burn. It's all over, but the seconds await their turn. Without the curtains drawn, the wounded search for meaning, the proud move on. Dreams were dashed and trust was broken, fate so bound in words unspoken. Do you think the rubble for what might have been? No one in their right mind would feel that way again. As the clock waits to fade, breaths start to roll. So frustration release. Did anyone remember to speak for peace? Law and order that rights in the name of war prolonged. All grown and weren't there moments beyond